At this time, I'll invite Jacob to unmute and you can ask your question.
This is such a great question because many need that clarity. And that is a question that we are able to communicate for the better understanding. There are no limitations as to your higher self's place. This concept of dimensions has been expressed and explained to the best of the ability of the means of that channelers, oracles, prophets, those that have received the information. It has been expressed in such a layman's term that many individuals have somewhat been stuck with these concepts, which is not wrong to say. Yet, we challenge all of you to not to take it as a final means of things. It is somewhat of the changes that individuals go through when incarnated. There are certain frequencies that bring you to certain terrains that will allow you to access certain terrains because of the frequency that is being shared. So when your higher self itself is not necessarily in a specific dimension or realm, it is all part of one. Even though each soul is individual and unique, it is still within a space that is beautifully and energetically shared with all. And fragments of that soul, in a positive term of fragments, can be incarnated in different spaces other than that main space, which is that's the difficult part to explain. A soul can be incarnated on earth, and as many of you would know, these parallel worlds are parallel for your planet. But in fact, they are just other places. But with space and time concept, which we do not necessarily live or exist as a time mind of a set of mind, you will have certain fragments of yourself, and this is all purely on the choice of the soul. This soul is able to communicate to its incarnated being because of the frequency that it has. But once part of that fragment is incarnated. It doesn't detach from the soul, but that incarnated being learns and finds a means, a way to connect with its higher self. Is this somewhat clear, or would you like more? We have a lot of information, but there's only so much we can share. That is one of the ways of seeing it. But to throw you a curveball, as this channel would say, almost seeing the coin on different angles, correct? So, one of the ways of also seeing it is a beautiful space. And there are many, many within that space, and they're all sharing the same energy, even though they are all individuals like cells. The one of those cells will split, but there will still be, in this factor, there will still be the main individual, but part of it could split something in front of them, some, and a part of it can split in another time. Part of it will go into another planet, another existence. Is that also throwing it a little bit on another perspective for you? But if you refer to your higher self, you're an offspring of source. And it is a space, but it's also difficult to say that because this concept of space and time is a very human concept. It is that it is. It is, as one would say, a source omnipresent. Yet, there are souls that are new. There are souls that have been around for so long. And there are souls that do have certain roles or certain traits. And it's not that they're responsible for that, but it's more of how they chose their incarnations that created their expertise, their knowledge, um, their calling, their drive. But no soul completely incarnates because that higher self cannot be removed from that space, if you will. It's part of that higher self. You are representing part of your higher self. And this is why often when individuals have dreams, not only are they dreaming of possible experiences that they've had in the past week, their brain is processing. So obviously, there are human factors when you're dreaming, but most of the time, if the individual is not astral traveling, they are also seeing glimpses of their existence on another plane, another level, another dimension. Because they're not just incarnated here. That is most of the time, unless the soul is someone such as certain deities that have decided not to incarnate again, but to rather assist those that are incarnated, and then again, not just on this planet, in other places. Is that also a bit more clear.